Hey, this is Max. I'm back with another CSR2 video. This time it is the GTC4 Lusso 70th anniversary. This is a very good car in the sense that it is easy to tune, to use in live, and it naturally can beat dyno just through good driving. So from a tuning standpoint, this car is very easy to set up. Mine is currently set up with stage 6 nitrous only, stage 5 everything else, with fusions. This one, to set up, it's as simple as nitrous to the right, transmission to the left, and tires around 53-47. Once you have that set up, depending on your fusion status, you should be somewhere in the 1,000 to 1,400 range as far as Evo is concerned. And if you have more fusions, obviously you'll have more Evo. A quick dyno tells us the car should be running 10.115 at 300 miles an hour. A quick test run, however, will show us that it actually can do quite a bit better than that without any tricky tunes. It simply outperforms its own dyno just from driving. Nitrous is applied in 4th gear for me. Sometimes you can apply it in 3rd gear. It'll have a lower top speed, but essentially do the same time, making this car one of the easiest and most flexible one to drive to achieve almost a 4/10 dyno beating run. A very good car to use in live with this setting. Because you're not tricking dyno, you don't really have to worry about being bumped simply due to the fact that you're beating dyno artificially through grip. You are only beating dyno in the sense that the car itself can do it. This is very much like the LB Aventador, another car that I enjoy driving and is also set up in a very similar manner. However, I would argue the GTC4 is a better car, even though it's not a better car in the sense that you got to pay to get one and then you have to pay to upgrade it. That's not a good thing, right? The LB Aventador is free. However, for a car that you did pay for and spend some money getting to this point, you can be assured at least that this car does not perform poorly in live. It is also easier to drive than the Aventador. You do not need to worry about slight variances in the launch. You can launch it simply at 1 and drive it normal. 4th gear nitrous, it starts picking up speed rapidly and can usually catch your opponents near the end of the track. Not in that instance. I got a perfect launch, would actually hurt its performance a little bit, but since I'm trading, I will try again. This time maybe launching a little bit later so I don't get that RPM drop on the perfect launch. One thing is to shift out of 1st gear around 50 miles an hour, which I didn't do on the last run. That probably took off a 10th. Now, I can bet you that that Audi that I'm running is also beating dyno, because that is one of the cars that can easily be set up to beat dyno by some margin. So instead of waiting too long to shift out, I'm going to get out of 1st more quickly and then getting on nitrous from there. Now, obviously, my opponent's going to give me this run since we're both running the trading, but I should be running a better run than last time. 9.77 is not as good as the test run, but you usually pick up exactly how to launch in live after a few races. I'm going to do 1 or 2 more just to see where I can get this car to. It should run with a decent launch and shifting properly in the low 9.7s, which is very competitive in a 10-second plus lobby. So again, when you launch it, depending on how you launch it, you can get a variance in where the RPM drops to. And that kind of screws you up a little bit with regard to consistency. But remember, the LB Aventador suffers from a similar issue where if you launch it perfect, you actually end up spinning your tires for the first 3 gears and get a horrible time. The Lusso won't be off by that much. You'll be off by a little bit compared to the Aventador, but it actually runs quite well with just your standard drop your hammer at the number 1. So this time I'm going to wait slightly to drop the hammer a little bit later. Watch the flash before I drop. Shift at 50, and then hitting nitrous at 4th. This time it should run again a 9.7 something. Might be a little better than the last time because that was much closer to how I would run it in the test run. 9.741 is certainly not a bad run in this lobby. I'm waiting on my re-challenge. I'm hoping he did not disconnect. It was a simple matter of a little delay on his device, and it looks like it is. So there you are, a very simple car to set up, a very simple car to drive, and a good car. Is it a $20 good car? No, not when you can get a free car that will do the same or better. But certainly it is not a car that you bought, did one event for, and then never use again. So that is the good news. Okay, for some reason he started really slow. I think he disconnected. In fact, I'm almost positive, given that he refused to accelerate, that he did disconnect. This is going to be a void race. This is the problem with live. Oh, they gave me the win. This is the problem with, he disconnected. So this is a problem with live recently. There's a lot of disconnects. When you're trading, sometimes if it's your turn to win and the other guy, or your turn to lose in my case, and the other guy just disconnected, on his end it could look like you just ran out the door, or he would have already been kicked off to his main screen. Because it happens so often, you need to kind of take these kind of situations with a grain of salt and not assume the worst of people. Maybe they didn't intend to beat you, maybe they disconnected. Give people a benefit of the doubt. You'll make your life much easier when you play. You don't get angry and frustrated. Stuff happens. It's a game. Enjoy it when you can. Anyway, preaching aside, my evaluation of the GTC4 Lusso is it's a good car. It is a live winner when set up and driven properly, and certainly should earn some mileage in your garage. If you liked the video, leave a like. Any questions, post it in the comments. Subscribe if you like to see these kind of videos. I will be updating my channel regularly with newer videos. And when there are specific requests, I will do what I can to give you answers on stuff that I'm aware of and can show in a video. Thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful to someone.